At a business meeting at Panera Bread, the bill for 2 cappuccinos and 3 house lattes was $14.55. Let's take a look at that the first sentence here and turn that into an equation. So we've got 2 cappuccinos and 3 house lattes. So 2 cappuccinos, let's use C. And we've got 3 lattes, so let's use L for lattes. And if we add up all those, the cost of all those, we should get that our total bill was $14.55. That's our first equation taken from the first sentence. Let's come up with our second one. Hopefully that'll come from the second sentence. At another table, the bill for 1 cappuccino and 2 lattes was $8.70. So that means that on this second bill, I've got 1 cappuccino. Included in there is going to also be in the bill 2 lattes, and that should give me a total of $8.77. Now the question is whether or not you'd want to do this using substitution or elimination. Either is going to work here. This can go easily either way. If you're going to do substitution, I would solve the second equation for C because it's the only one that won't give you fractions at the end because you won't have numbers out in front of that C. However, you can also do elimination very easily by just taking that entire second equation and only tampering with it by multiplying it by a -2. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave my first equation alone. And I'm going to multiply that second equation by a -2, which will give me a -2C to start, and -4L. And then I also have to do the 877 times a -2, which will give me a -1754. And then I can just go ahead and add normally. And notice my C's eliminate because one's positive and one's negative. Then I also have, let's see, my positive 3L and my -4L, which will give me a -1L. And on my other side, I have my 1455 and my -1754. And that gives me -299. Almost done. Now I have to get rid of that negative or -1 by dividing both sides by a negative or -1. And that will give me L is equal to, well, notice the 2 negatives will cancel out, giving me that my final price for my L is $2.99, and that's my cost. The L stood for lattes. So that's my cost for my lattes according to the bills. However, I am not done. I still have to figure out what the cost was for my cappuccinos. So I can take either one of the 2 equations. I'm going to take the smaller equation, which was the 1C plus 2L equals 877. And so what I'm going to do is take the answer I just got for my lattes, the $2.99 for my lattes, and let's take that and plug that in for L. So what we'll have here is we'll have our cappuccino, the 1C, plus my 2 times my latte, which we just said was $2.99, equals my 877. So order of operations is going to make me do this multiplication first. My $2.99 times 2, which is $5.98. So I'll get C plus $5.98 equals $877. To keep on going solving this, we'll subtract the $5.98 from both sides. And what that will give me is that the cost of a cappuccino, C, is $877 minus my $5.98. Which is going to give me a total of $2.79, and that's my price for a cappuccino. Okay, and we are done. So notice the word problems aren't overly complicated. You're doing tactics that you've already done, the substitution and the elimination. And it's just making sure that you can set up the equations properly. That's going to be your hard part. And if you don't set up the equations properly, it will throw off all your answers. So it is going to be very important that on tests that you show your work so that I can assign partial credit if possible.